What's up everyone, Dr. Mango here and welcome to my channel. What I want to talk to you guys about today is staying pain-free in 2022, okay? I'm going to give you 3 tips to help get you there. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into it. So, tip number 1 is to stretch 15 minutes every day. It doesn't need to be some crazy extensive program or anything, but just doing some general upper body, lower body, and neck stretches is going to be very helpful in minimizing the risk of pain coming on in the future. Now, you've probably heard of a condition called sciatica, which is basically just inflammation of that sciatic nerve that runs down the back of our legs. And it can present in a bunch of different ways. But generally speaking, it presents as some numbness, tingling, burning, or just pain down the back of our legs that can also have some back pain associated with it. Now, there's multiple causes of sciatica, but one of those main types of sciatica that is so common is called piriformis syndrome, which is basically just tightness in that muscle in your buttock. So what ends up happening is the muscle gets really tight from overuse or inadequate stretching, and as a result, unfortunately, it compresses on that sciatic nerve, causing those symptoms down the leg. So what you want to do when you're stretching is you want to hold the stretch for about 30 seconds and you want to do 3 repetitions on either side. And that's going to keep that muscle nice and loose and minimize the risk of pain coming on in the future, okay? Now, if you do that on a consistent basis, the likelihood of you developing that pain is much lower. Now, in conjunction with tip number 1 comes tip number 2, which is to destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content so that you can stay up to date with when I post. Now, what really goes great with tip number 1 is tip number 2, which is going to be to walk about an hour a day. Now, it is going to be so important for your mental and physical well-being. And when coupled up with stretching, it really does minimize the risk of pain coming on in the future. Now, walking on a day-to-day basis is going to have so many physical and mental benefits that it is a no-brainer that this is an absolute must if you want to stay pain-free this year. And one of my favorite benefits from walking on a day-to-day basis is mentally disconnecting and de-stressing from the technological world that we live in, and then allows you to become more productive when you return back to work later that day. And if you don't have the flexibility in your schedule to do one long walk a day, what you can do is you can always break it up into smaller increments, maybe 15 minutes throughout the day. And last but not least, the most important of the 3 tips is going to be sleep. Sleep is so important for everyone, and you want to shoot for about 8 hours if you can. It'll allow your brain to rest, your muscles to rest, and give you the energy you need to perform at a nice high level the following day. Now, if you're fairly active, what you'll probably notice that if you're a little more active than usual is that you may feel soreness by the end of the day. And this is a very normal thing to happen. It's called DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness. And what happens is if you're doing some higher intensity activity, you get little micro tears in the muscles, and it requires a little bit more rest to have that recovery so that you're able to function back at your baseline level the next day. Now, if you have adequate rest, what's going to happen is you're going to be more likely to have that really good recovery, and you'll be feeling much more energized and ready for that following day. So it's very important to remember that not all muscles are going to recover at the same pace, and all muscles are going to require adequate rest before they're worked to that same intensity again. So those are the 3 tips that I had for you today. So if you do enjoy the content, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe as it helps a lot. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks.